Welcome to Exam Sale. In this video we break down the CCNA Cisco Certified Network Associate syllabus so you know exactly what to study and why each area matters. The CCNA exam is divided into 7 domains with specific weightings. Routing Technologies 23%, LAN Switching Technologies 21%, Network Fundamentals 15%, Infrastructure Security 11%, WAN Technologies 10%, Infrastructure Services 10%, and Infrastructure Management 10%. Each domain lists core skills, estimated study time, difficulty level, and assessment type so you can prioritize hands-on practice or conceptual review as needed. Routing Technologies carries 23% of the exam and is rated hard with about 40 hours of study recommended in both hands-on and conceptual assessment. You will learn configuration and troubleshooting of IPv4 and IPv6 routing protocols, including static routes, OSPF2 and OSPF3, and EIGRP for IPv4 and IPv6. Expect practical tasks such as router on a stick interval routing, configuring SVIs and subinterfaces, verifying neighbor adjacencies and OSPF area types, and troubleshooting path selection and next hop reachability. LAN Switching Technologies is weighted at 21% and is medium difficulty with around 30 hours of study and hands-on plus conceptual assessments. This domain covers switch configuration, VLAN implementation, 802.1q trunking, and link aggregation with EtherChannel, including LACP PAGP. You will practice VLAN and trunk setup, native VLAN handling, voice VLANs, spanning tree and rapid STP tuning, port fast NBPDU guard, and implementing EtherChannel with consistent port settings and load balancing verification. Network Fundamentals makes up 15% of the exam and is considered easy with about 20 hours of study focused on conceptual and scenario-based assessment. You will master foundational topics like the OSI and TCP/IP models, TCP versus UDP behavior, common network topologies and architectures, and the role of infrastructure components, IPv4 addressing and subnetting, including VLSM and calculating broadcast and network addresses, are central, and you will also learn IPv6 representation, SLOC, link local addressing, and EUI64 interface ID calculation. Infrastructure Security accounts for 11% of the exam, is medium difficulty, and recommends roughly 15 hours of study with hands-on tasks. The domain teaches how to secure network access and protect management planes using ACLs, Layer 2 security features, and device hardening. You will configure standard and extended IPv4 ACLs and IPv6 filters, implement port security, DHCP snooping and dynamic ARP inspection, and harden devices with local authentication, SSH, secure passwords, exec timeouts, and an understanding of AAA concepts. WAN Technologies covers 10% of the exam, is medium difficulty, and requires about 15 hours of scenario-based study. Expect to learn serial link and PPP encapsulation, authentication with PAP and CHAP, multilink PPP and PO client configuration, and common WAN topologies like hub and spoke and full mesh. You will also work with VPN technologies such as GRE and DMVPN concepts, and review basic external BGP topics including single home DEB configuration, neighbor states, as numbers, and prefix advertisement verification. Infrastructure Services is weighted 10%, is medium difficulty, and suggests approximately 15 hours of conceptual and scenario-based study. This domain focuses on core IP services like NAT and PAT for address translation, first hop redundancy protocols such as HSRP, VRRP and GLBP, and DHCP and DNS services that keep networks operational. You will configure static and dynamic NAT, verify translations and interface assignments, implement HSRP priorities and virtual MAC IP usage, and configure DHCP servers and relay agents while understanding DNS lookup functionality. Infrastructure Management also represents 10% of the exam, is easy with about 10 hours of study, and is scenario-focused on monitoring and automation. You will configure and verify syslog levels, SNMP v2c and v3, and NTP for consistent time across devices, and use IP/SLA for performance monitoring. Device maintenance topics include backing up and restoring configurations, iOS image management, password recovery, license verification, and an introduction to network programmability concepts like SDN, centralized controllers, APIs, JSON and Cisco DNA Center capabilities. That covers the full CCNA syllabus and how much weight each domain carries so you can plan study time and labs effectively. Focus on hands-on practice for routing and switching, solid conceptual review for fundamentals and services, and use labs to build troubleshooting skills before the exam. Good luck from Exam Sale, and remember, consistent practice and review are the fastest route to success.